more than 80% currently are using generative intelligence or AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity AI, Predictors, and more to do their search online. They don't use Google anymore. So this means that we need to adjust our tools, our techniques, how we try to maximize our conversion in regard to generative intelligence. Colleagues from myself at Harvard did a showcase. We had a little pizza dealer optimizing his touch point based on GI, generative intelligence optimization, or generative engine optimization. And he scored like incredible, like hell, 30% increase visibility. This is a big advantage.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About Tech. Generative AI flipped the world of marketing upside down. Searches have changed, swapped away from search engine towards ChatGPT and other solutions. It's my great pleasure to introduce you today, Professor Uwe Seebacher, marketing genius, bestseller author, and definitely one of the guys that is at the scientific frontier of marketing. Great to have you, Uwe.
Thanks for the invitation. I'm happy to be here and hope we're going to have an intrinsic and enriching session today.
I'm sure we will. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get into the field of marketing, and how do you combine your experience from the public sector, from the private sector, to the scientific world?
I started up in organization development and finance and HR because I was thinking that this colorful slides everybody can do anyway. So I was not so convinced about marketing. And throughout my time as consultant for two of the four big brands in consulting, I ended up with Commerzbank, one of the leading financial institutions in Germany. And we had the big challenge to make marketing measurable. And we ended up with the marketing resource management, where we tried to come up with KPIs for marketing. And with this, we ended up becoming or receiving the award for the SME financial institution. And since then, I developed into this area, I think, and the big advantage was combining the areas of organizational development, finance institutions, where I don't have to tell you, we are driven by KPIs in financial institutions, financial sectors. And I merged these two as a method and structural scientist. I could really leverage the different meta areas and then move towards making marketing measurable. And this was the entry point. And since then, I'm a professor visiting faculty in Vienna at the University of Applied Sciences for CRM, for marketing sales. At the IMT, I'm teaching predictive profit marketing, and in Munich, predictive intelligence. I think that was the way into it.
You publish a lot of books, right, in this field. What's the latest papers you have been working on? This impact of generative AI, I know, is a topic that you picked up quite early.
Yes, we did, because we ended up being at the frontier of advancements. You always need, and this is what we work with, predictive intelligence, what will happen 3 to 5 to 10 years. And realizing that generative intelligence is now offering a lot of opportunities for organizations, for companies to become visible. Because, fun fact, at the side, more than 80% currently are using generative intelligence or AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity AI, Predictors, and more to do their search online. They don't use Google anymore. So this means we have to take into consideration that we need to adjust our tools, our techniques, how we try to maximize our conversion in regard to generative intelligence. And this is what we published, and colleagues from myself at Harvard did a showcase with impressive results, where we had a little pizza dealer using his touch point or optimizing his touch point based on GI, generative intelligence optimization, or generative engine optimization. And he scored like incredible, like hell, 30% increase visibility. So, and this is a big advantage, but this requires that companies, organizations, might it be investors, startup, founders, whatever, become aware that the classical technologies like search engine optimization, search engine advertising, or paid advertising does not perform anymore. Why? Simple. Because, of course, the big search engines also adjusted their algorithms using AI. This means that this pure keyword stuffing is going to be identified by these search algorithms, and this means they're going to be eliminated, these sources. So that's the first big step. And we did a study at the University of Munich where we investigated 300 of the leading agencies. And we figured out that more than 90% of these agencies, and they should know about these developments on their own touch points, landing page, web pages, did not and so far do not use the advancements in regard to conversion rate optimization. This means they purely use these technical terms COC and PEA, but not the combination of technical and content-based optimization. This means, and this brings the implication that they don't know about these advancements, meaning that they also cannot supply their clients with these latest advancements. And having said that, this means the majority in the market is dealing with 2 generations earlier than what we need to do now, using the advances of conversion optimization and enriched with the learnings about GIO and GEO. And that's the point. And then, if I'm going to be too long, you tell me, we also need to think about generative experience. If we talk about consumer experience, user experience, we now need to make sure that also artificial intelligence, the artificial user, is as best as supplied by the site, by touch points. This means we also need to talk about generative experience.
Interesting. This new discipline of generative, how did you call it?
Generative intelligence optimization, GIO, or you can also use generative engineering engineering optimization.
So this GIO and GEO, right? Or GEO, right?
Yeah.
This new discipline, is there anything published on this yet, or how would a plan be structured? So if I want to be at the frontier today, how would I look at my website? How would I look at my marketing material? Is my goal now to be the first one when somebody asks in ChatGPT that I'm up there, or is it more about using this tool to optimize what I already have out in the market?
Brilliant question. Why are we doing digital marketing? We are entrepreneurs. We want to convert. In the end, we want to make cash. But conversion rate optimization now being enhanced by GIO or GEO, we want to maximize the conversion, meaning that the likelihood that the visitor on our touchpoint, whatever that might be, might an e-commerce store, might a B2B lead gen, whatever, right? The different touchpoints must be optimized to convert and maximize our conversion to the next layer. Many times I realize that people are only thinking about conversion optimization, generating cash. That's right. Likes don't pay our bills, sales do. But in order to lead the inbound to clients to buying something, I need to have a look at the entire journey. This means what the pathway should be. When they have their touch points, their online appearances, they need to think about their journey. What do I want the user on my touch point to do? We as entrepreneurs must be the driver's seat. There should not be too many different ways, call to action, because you're losing the client. Only one clear path. And once you've done that, you apply conversion rate optimization, technical and content optimization. And by doing this, automatically you will dive into how to optimize the conversion. And then once you've optimized the different touch points and the step-by-step process during the journey, then as a next step, you then start to prompt with a tool of your choice, which does not hallucinate, right? To prompt, how can I further optimize my touch point in regard to GIO, GEO, JX? That's the point. And then you start working with it. You will only get recommendations. You still need to decide what you do. That's the human intelligence which comes into play here. But it's a step-by-step process. It doesn't make sense to start with GIO, GEO, and Gen X once you've not done your homework in regard to moving from COC and PEA to CRO to conversion optimization. It doesn't make sense. It wastes your money. So step by step, it's an organizational learning process where you need to adopt new tools, and then you will see from the beginning of the journey that the conversion increases, and this is the way you should move. Because if you start at the wrong point at the end of the journey, you burn your money at the beginning, and then you get the false results because you think the changes at the end of the journey do not perform, but the problem at the beginning of the journey.
So not even buying Google shares or Alphabet shares would hedge you, right? So in the end, what you're saying is basically, if I'm struggling with churn today, it is very likely that I'm not only in the need of a conversion optimization, but that I'm also addressing my clients on a completely wrong path.
Might be the case. You need to also, whatever you do, you need to take a look at your journey. And so many times I'm called in by organizations, they are not aware of their journey. They might have done some work on personas where the redefine their structures. But what they not have been doing is taking a look on their journeys. And conversion optimization, GIO, GEO, Gen X, only works if you think about your buying process. Think about you once you buy a car. It's not you just, you might be doing it because you're a successful entrepreneur. You rush in, I want the car. But normally people need to create awareness and then throughout the journey, yeah, and you need to accompany your potential client.
Well, you need to understand the product quite easy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have a clear positioning, then obviously you need to cut through, you want to cut through the noise, right? And there's more and more marketing going on, especially in the digital sphere. So it's super hard to cut through the noise, right?
Exactly.
And I mean, now with everybody picking up generative AI optimization, right? Will that not become even more difficult, right? I mean, we have I see that we have a window of advantage right now if we pick it up early, but what happens if everybody does that?
You are right. However, looking at the current market situation, 80%, 85% of organizations in this service organizations or agencies are still locked and trapped in the first generation, COC and peer. So we are looking at a time window of 5 to 10 years. That's
a lot.
That's a lot. And I am almost surprised that still the majority in the market is dealing with COC. Take a look at the article publications. Still, so many professionals are talking about what to do in COC and PR, but this is basically within 3 years not working anymore. The conversion is going down, and this is why organizations are burning the money. And this is applicable for the journey of job clients in HR for employer branding or to get as part of the recruiting. It's part of corporate communication, where you can also talk about the information client. And of course, marketing sales, where we talk about the product client. It's the same everywhere. So you are right. We are moving to that. But once the majority is using GIO, then we will have, based on the applied sciences, further technologies, further tools. And yes, the anti-hypothesis is in 10 years, similar to what we have seen with the ebook, where everybody said that the classical printed book is gone. Today, the normal book is seen as a luxury good, right? Or the compact disc. Now, today, the old-fashioned polyvinyl disc is a sign of luxury. So what will happen is that organizations will take the time to then have a human salesperson as an anti-hypothesis to the AI salesperson to approach a client, but with all the knowledge from the AI about the client. Because also important is the acceptance and the willingness to opt in regard to GDPR has significantly increased. So the clients are expecting us to know their needs, to know something about them. That's what they ask us, what they require. This means with this knowledge, these sales guys, human sales guys, will then approach a client, and this is going to be a VIP service. We offer the luxury. We appreciate you, client. We have human being salesperson. This is going to be 10, 15 years where we see this anti-trend, and that the people and companies will work to evidence-based show them we have a human salesperson taking care of you.
And does this imply that you don't think AI is killing jobs in marketing? Or is it just changing the profile?
It's a good question. And I recently published an article about learning from the past. If you take a look, like in the 80s, where we had all these ERP implementations like SAP, what were in the media? Oh, the transparent employee, we were losing jobs, right? The same happened in CRM. The transparent employee, we won't have salespeople because we don't need them anymore. Nothing will happen like that. And it's the same with AI. AI is not more, and we've proven this with modulation, mathematical, it's not more than an advanced calculator. And step by step now, also in Silicon Valley, the smart professionals realize it's not more than that. It's simply that we have the capacity now with computers to work with these tools. So AI won't change anything. It will change the job profiles, how we work with it. New job profiles will come up or will not be replaced. We can do automation, digitalization, yes, but I do not see, and we do not anticipate more significant changes than we faced during ERP, CRM implementation. It's just the same as that we advance with technology. And one thing, what is a core message, these are all tools and enablers. And the same in school. We are not taught to work with a calculator. We are first taught to mental arithmetics to understand the basics of mathematics, right? Algebra. And the same with AI. You cannot think that you can work with AI not understanding the layer, the basic principles of AI. So it's not about a tool. A fool with a tool remains a fool. It's an organizational learning process. We need to get trained to work with AI, with the new tools. And then it will be, in 20 years, we will look back and say, how come we have been crazy, exaggerating the potential of AI? It's another tool we need to adopt with and learn to work with, and that's it.
And to eventually actually also increase our profitability.
This, if we're smart and use it exactly, we of course certainly can do that. Right from the beginning, might it be a startup, MNC company, whatever. Yes, you can use it.
Now, if our audience is asking themselves, how do they stay ahead of the curve? What would you recommend them to subscribe, like in terms of podcasts you follow, maybe subscribe a magazine, books? Obviously, I mean, you have published a lot, right? I can highly recommend looking at the books that you wrote. I just heard one recently was sold as an ebook more than 2 million times.
Yeah, it was a B2B marketing guidebook. It's the standard textbook. Then certainly a good book is a book which the community tells me it's good. It's about predictive intelligence, because AI per se doesn't generate any added value in the economical sense. We need to combine AI in different ways. And as part of the student startup, Predictors, we do that. And we talk about predictive intelligence, because we are looking at economical value chains where we need to we need to understand what to do in the future. We need recommendations. And today it's not about looking for data. It's about not wasting your time looking for data and using predictive intelligence to work with the data, evaluate the data, and then predict them and provide us recommendations, reducing our risk and maximizing our profit. And that's predictive intelligence. Harvard Business Management, it's a good subscription, always paying off. Your podcast certainly, because you're one of the first people inviting me to talk about this topic. I think, and to keep their eyes open, it is a learning process. And once you understand how fun and how enriching it can be to move, if you do the first step, the success is the result of many small steps, right? From COP to CRO, and then AI and GIO, then you will get into it, and you will, because then you understand the basic principles, and then you will automatically stay ahead of the curve. It just don't follow the generic hot air about fancy stuff, following so-called smart professionals who are not, because just simply talking about something doesn't prove evidence in the background, I think. And be critical and be critically asking questions. That's a good thing.
So consistency in learning, right, will keep you ahead. We can definitely all recommend download all the books from Uwe Seebacher. I have a subscription of Harvard Business Review actually since I'm 16 years old. It's one of the best magazines, I must agree. And I'm certainly also happy if you subscribe to our channel. I hope you enjoyed today's talk, and I hope that you have a lot of input for your own success in the near future. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.